The Battle of Karbala, a moment etched deeply into the heart of Islamic history, a tragedy that changed the world forever. But how much do we really know about this event? Beyond the well-known stories of sacrifice and bravery, there lie hidden truths, lesser-known secrets that reveal the true depth of what happened in those scorching days of Muharram in the year 680 AD. Today, we invite you to journey with us through these secrets, to uncover the untold stories, the silent struggles, and the powerful messages that the Battle of Karbala holds. This is not just a tale of war. It is a story of faith, resilience, and an unyielding quest for justice. Before we dive into the battle itself, we must understand the world that shaped it. After the death of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him and his family, the young Islamic community faced numerous challenges. The leadership of the Muslim Ummah passed through the hands of the rightly guided caliphs, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and then Ali, peace be upon them all. These were times of great upheaval, yet the core values of justice, equality, and unity were held sacred. But after Imam Ali's martyrdom, the political landscape shifted. The Umayyad dynasty rose, led by Muawiyah and later by his son Yazid. Unlike the previous leaders, Yazid's rule was marked by ambition for power and disregard for moral and spiritual leadership. Imam Hussain ibn Ali, the beloved grandson of the Prophet, was called upon to pledge loyalty to Yazid. But Hussein saw clearly the corruption and cruelty that had crept into the heart of leadership. To give his allegiance would mean to betray the principles taught by his grandfather. His refusal was not just political defiance, it was a stand for truth and justice against oppression. As tensions rose, Imam Hussain received letters from the people of Kufa, a city yearning for justice and change. They promised support and safety if he came to their aid. With hope and faith, Hussein set out from Medina towards Kufa, accompanied by a small group of devoted family and followers. But what Hussein did not fully realize was that the promises of Kufa were fragile. The political tides had turned against him. Yazid's forces moved swiftly to intercept. In the coming parts, we will reveal the real reasons behind Yazid's demand for allegiance, the heartbreaking trials faced by Hussein's small group, the cruel tactic of cutting off water, the vital role of women and children, and the lasting legacy that turned Karbala into a beacon of justice for all time. Stay with us as we uncover the secrets behind the Battle of Karbala you didn't know. To truly understand Karbala, we must look beyond the surface. Yazid's demand for Imam Hussein's allegiance was more than a mere political maneuver. It was a calculated effort to control the soul of Islam itself. Secret 1. The real reasons behind Yazid's demand. Yazid was not just seeking to consolidate political power. He aimed to silence the voice of righteousness, the voice that Imam Hussain represented. The Umayyad leadership had drifted far from the ideals of the Prophet. Their governance was marked by extravagance, oppression, and the suppression of dissent. By forcing Hussein to pledge loyalty, Yazid sought legitimacy. Hussein's family carried the sacred bloodline of the Prophet. Their support could silence critics and legitimize a regime built on fear and corruption. But Hussein's refusal was a direct threat, a beacon calling for justice amid the darkness. Yazid's court was filled with advisors urging him to crush Hussein quickly, to prevent his message from inspiring rebellion. Yet Yazid's arrogance blinded him to the power of Hussein's stand. Secret 2. The small size but huge impact of Imam Hussein's group. When Imam Hussain set out toward Kufa, he was accompanied by only about 72 companions, including family members and children. Against Yazid's vast army, numbering in the thousands, it seemed impossible that such a small group could make a difference. Yet their courage, faith, and sacrifice turned the seemingly hopeless battle into a timeless symbol of resistance. Each person with Hussein carried a story of unwavering loyalty. Among them were brothers, cousins, sons, and noble warriors, each willing to give everything rather than live under tyranny. Despite their small number, their stand echoed across centuries, a reminder that truth and justice do not depend on size or force, but on the strength of conviction. The power of their stand, their courage, inspired many others, even those who could not be there on the battlefield. Letters and messages from Hussein's camp called out for support, voices of justice that resonated beyond Karbala. Even in isolation, Hussein's group held firm, refusing to bow, refusing to compromise. Their small numbers were no weakness. They were the very spark that ignited a fire of remembrance and rebellion against oppression for generations to come. What can we learn from this? That even the smallest group, with the purest intentions and the strongest faith, can stand against a giant and change the course of history. We will uncover the cruel tactic of water deprivation, a secret weapon used against Hussein's group, and the unimaginable suffering it caused. We will also explore the crucial role that women and children played in preserving the message of Karbala. Stay with us as we continue to unravel the secrets behind the Battle of Karbala you didn't know. One of the cruelest and most painful tactics used against Imam Hussain and his companions was the deliberate cutting off of their access to water, a life-giving source that was denied to break their spirit. Secret 3. The role of water deprivation. In the scorching heat of Karbala, water was more than a necessity. It was a symbol of survival, hope, and dignity. Yazid's army blocked the Euphrates River, preventing Hussein's group from quenching their thirst. Days passed without relief. Children cried out for water. Elders and warriors alike suffered from unbearable thirst. This merciless act was not just a military strategy, it was psychological warfare aimed at crushing the resolve of Hussein's camp. The deprivation of water is remembered deeply in Shia mourning rituals. The image of thirsty children at Karbala touches hearts even today. Water, in Islamic tradition, is often associated with purity, life, and divine mercy. Denying it to Hussein's group symbolized the total rejection of life, truth, and mercy by Yazid's forces. It was an attempt to isolate Hussein, to make his stand a lonely, doomed effort. Secret 4. The role of women and children. But Karbala was not only a battlefield of men. It was a stage where the courage and resilience of women and children shone brightly. Figures like Lady Zainab, the sister of Imam Hussain, carried the message of Karbala beyond the desert plains. She became a pillar of strength, protector of the survivors, and a voice that echoed against tyranny. Despite losing her husband, brother, and children, Lady Zainab stood tall. Her sermons and public speeches shocked the oppressors and inspired generations. The children, like Imam Hussein's young son Sakina, endured hardships that no child should face. Yet their presence reminded the world of innocence caught in the crossfire and the need to protect truth and justice for future generations. Women also safeguarded the history and teachings of Karbala. They carried the stories, the grief, and the hope, ensuring the memory of sacrifice lived on. Their resilience transformed Karbala from a tragic event into a powerful movement of faith. Their bravery teaches us that courage does not belong to the battlefield alone. It resides in hearts that refuse to be silenced. The suffering from thirst and the steadfastness of women and children remind us of the depth of human endurance and the power of faith. We will uncover the hidden messages in Imam Hussein's letters and speeches and explore how the aftermath of Karbala shaped centuries of faith, culture, and resistance. Even as the battle raged and hardship weighed heavily on Imam Hussain and his companions, the power of words never faded. Hidden within his letters and speeches were profound messages, calls for justice, unity, and faith that transcended time and place. Secret 5. Hidden messages in Imam Hussein's letters and speeches before and during the journey to Karbala. Imam Hussain sent letters to various Muslim leaders and communities, including the people of Kufa. These letters were not mere requests for support. They were powerful sermons articulating the injustice of Yazid's rule and inviting people to stand for truth. Imam Hussein's words carried deep wisdom, emphasizing that allegiance should be to God's principles, not to tyrants. He warned against complacency and urged the faithful to rise against corruption. Even when surrounded by enemies, his speeches inspired courage and unwavering faith among his followers. On the day of Ashura, Imam Hussain addressed his small group and the enemy forces with unmatched eloquence, reminding everyone that the fight was not for worldly power, but for eternal justice. These words have been preserved and recited for over 1,300 years, igniting hearts and inspiring countless movements for justice. Secret 6. The aftermath and spread of the Karbala message. Though Karbala was a battlefield lost, the cause Imam Hussain fought for was never defeated. After the massacre, Lady Zainab and the surviving women and children were taken captive to Yazid's court, where they boldly exposed the tyranny of their oppressors. Their courage helped transform Karbala into a powerful symbol, one that united people across generations and geographies. The tragedy of Karbala became the foundation of Shia identity and a universal call against injustice and oppression. Art, poetry, sermons, and rituals keep the memory alive, reminding us all that standing for truth, even against overwhelming odds, is a timeless duty. From political movements to spiritual teachings, Karbala continues to inspire millions. It teaches us about sacrifice, the importance of standing against oppression, and the power of faith to transform hearts. The secrets behind Karbala are not just historical facts. They are living lessons. Imam Hussein's sacrifice teaches us that true power lies in justice and courage, that even in the darkest times, light can emerge from those who stand firm. May this story inspire us all to stand for truth and justice in our own lives.